Hi guys, it's Jaden. Welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a update video today on how I'm doing post health crash from adrenal fatigue and anxiety, as well as hormonal imbalance health issues. You can follow or actually research my channel on the playlists that I have created for this topic. You can also just search through my videos. I put out a lot of good information for you if you're on research mode about how to recover from things like adrenal fatigue or any type of chronic stress, anxiety-caused health imbalances. So before we get started, I'm not a doctor or a therapist, so please consult with your own medical professional before taking on any health advice. And so today's video is just basically, it's me updating you on what it's like now. It's been over a year since I've fully recovered, and I've gradually allowed myself to take on more and more normal life stuff, challenging stuff, things that take a lot of energy and things that require a lot of ability to deal with stress and stress management. Things like taking on a brand new business. I also have a journey starting on me starting my Amazon FBA business, so you can check that out too if you're interested. Things like very stressful family situations involving, a close family member with a very serious illness, and just what's happening in the world and how that relates to the delays and the added stress, just life in general. Amongst other personal things. So a lot is going on, and I'm also working out full force back to my old, workout, tennis, and just training schedule. No holding back. I can push myself to the amount that I need to in my sport and stuff like that. And I don't have any type of triggers anymore, any type of setbacks. But a very important topic that I want to cover also in this video is that those of you who are fully recovered like me, and those of you who are very close or are on the way, you need to realize that, or you might already know this if you're fully recovered, but if you don't, it's a great insight. So we have to realize, and fortunately I was very naturally good at this process, is that once you've been dealing with adrenal fatigue and all those symptoms and all that awful stuff, you can kind of start to think that just being tired is you having a setback and you going backwards. Okay, now that may be totally true. That is totally true when you're in the earlier recovery phases where you have those relapses and everything's a trigger and you're ultra sensitive to everything. You have symptoms all the time and they come up with very little stimulant and stress levels. So that is valid. But as you recover and move forward, you also have to prep yourself mentally and evolve too, because when you are better, when you're fully recovered, like me, I still have days where I'm more tired because I'm human. And because I could see that if you're somebody that went through such, trauma with this, it can cause you to kind of have this new, how do I say this? A new kind of a trigger, a new sensitive spot to where if you just are tired because you are doing more, you think you're gonna go back to where you were. And again, I want to emphasize that during your first phases of recovery, that is totally true. Even later, you have to be very careful, but there comes to a point when you are fully recovered, and in my case, I specifically categorize that as phase 4 and beyond. You do have to switch your mindset. You do have to say, hey, I'm a human being. I'm going to get tired if I just push myself more. I might be more jittery from being tired, but that doesn't mean that it is the same type of chronic, trembling and all that, all that horrible other stuff. But that takes some work. That takes you changing your mindset and also it's the time. You need time to prove to yourself that the, you know, the I would say normal amount of fatigue and stress that you can handle now isn't the same as when you were still recovering. Okay, or you could still be recovering and you just think you fully recovered, and so you can't take on that yet. But at some point when you truly can, mentally you've got to switch yourself over. And that takes some time because you're so used to like extra careful and like, you know, knowing that like, you know, tired is a sign of like just, you know, you're about to crash and stuff. And all that's very important when you're trying to recover. So totally, I understand. It's a delicate process. As I've always said, this whole recovery thing. And that this, even after you fully recover, the mental adjustment to back to normal life takes a while. And that's kind of how I separated phase 5 and 4, because when you're 4, I was already, or, you know, when I was 4, I was already fully recovered in every way, but I needed time to kind of prove to myself. And mine was 6 months. After 6 months, and I was adjusting myself mentally, I knew I was fully recovered, and it was time tested. You know, it was one of those relapse times that happens so much and to so many of us in phase 2 and 3. So, but that's something to keep in mind, whether you're heading towards full recovery or you're in it and you're struggling with that kind of like feeling hesitant, and then you're kind of like putting extra anxiety, ironically, on yourself, just thinking that, you know, just like normal human reactions towards stress is concerning you too much. Okay, so I hope that I described this clearly. It's a kind of a delicate thing to describe, and it's hard to like really know what I'm talking about unless you're going through this. So, but I just want to put this insight out there. It's a very important one. If you're on the verge of full recovery, like in phase 4, or you're beyond and you're just in early phase of phase 4 and you're getting adjusted to like being back at yourself again, you can do things without having to like worry that you're going to relapse or crash or have an adrenal crash or stuff like that. This could be very helpful. Okay, you do have to go through a period where you're like, it's like if you've broken your leg and it really truly has fully healed, you're gonna be hesitant to like put pressure on that leg. But eventually, with time and with build confidence, you will be able to. Which is totally what I did. It's like now it's been a year since phase 5 for me. So yeah, I'm like, everything's going really well. I can handle whatever stress thrown at me. In fact, I'm going through a very challenging time with so many different elements of stress, including, you know, family stuff, including new business and all that. In fact, the stress load I'm dealing with right now, it's probably equivalent, if not a little bit more, than when I had the initial crash. However, I'm a totally different person. I know how to handle it differently. I've also fully recovered from the crash, so my body has better understandings and signals about how to deal with this type of stress load, and I take totally different actions mentally and physically towards stress and stress management. So this whole recovery journey was a blessing in disguise, and as I continue to go forward, more and more that is proven to me that it was definitely like gold for me to have had that experience. It just made me a more strong, powerful person in all ways, and it also gave me a YouTube content and to connect with so many of you who are going through the same thing. So I'm very happy for that whole journey, even though while you're going through it, it is more than words I can describe, that I can use to describe how awful it is. But in retrospect now, it is such a blessing. So again, I always hope the best for your recovery. If you're going through this, definitely do your own research. Definitely, you know, educate yourself on what's happening. Be self-aware. Be really patient with yourself and this whole process. Be mindful, because, you know, our mindsets can play tricks on us and cause us to get wrapped up in the wrong direction. And you want to head in the right direction towards recovery more and more. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's been a while. I will try my best to get back into more regular posting, but it's going to take some time because the new Amazon business that I'm doing, it's very time consuming, and I have to dedicate myself to that as well. So I hope you're still staying with me. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and help me continue to grow my audience. Like my videos, share them, check out all my other playlists, and I'll see you guys again on my next video. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.